What's up, Dragon Brood? So as we continue to explore Standard 2022, I kind of start looking at different combinations of things we may or may not have tried, and I realized we really didn't have a teamer list this season, and I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go. And I was thinking about the way some of the teamer lists had been built in current Standard, and kind of what they could look like going forward as far as like how many of the big cards do we want to play, do we want to lean on the dragons, and I just figured, okay, there's enough parts here, let's see if we can put something together. And we've also learned some things from some of the other decks we've been building, so I'm going to apply some of those to the deck list today and see what we can do with it. Now, if you're into the mid-rangey style decks, I think this is going to be one you really like. May not be for everybody, obviously, but I think this is going to do the trick. I will admit it plays a couple of cards I also don't like, but they're the best cards for the job, so what are you going to do? Anyway, let's go take a look at the Temur Midrange list for Standard 2022. All right, now the first thing I will say, when you go through this list, you're going to see a lot of numbers that are going to look a lot of weird. And yes, I said a lot of weird, but there's a reason to it. And I'll go over that as we get to each of the cards. But for starters, we're playing 4 Disparate Sentinels, totally normal. We're trying to get multiple colors here, so nothing wrong with that. 2 Negates. I debated what I wanted these to be. At one point, they were Disdainful Stroke. Another time, I had the new one from Forgotten Realms, and I just decided I wanted it to be Negate. I think the spells we're really worried about tend to be non-creature spells anyway, and I wanted to have just a cheap 2-mana thing we could use because we have so many things on the top end. Then we have 4 Dragon's Fires. We don't have a ton of dragons, but occasionally we'll get some extra value out of it. Otherwise, it's just going to be dealing 3 damage to a creature most of the time. And because we have a lot of ways to make mana, it doesn't really bother us that much that it's not a Frostbite, you know? Then we're going to play 3 Magda Brazen Outlaw. I wanted to play a 4th one, but the reality is we just don't want to draw Magdas when we already have Magdas. Otherwise, we're just attacking, running one into combat just so we can replace it and get a treasure, which is fine, but that's not the most efficient use of our cards. So we landed on 3 for the number there. Playing 4 Prosperous Innkeepers. This one, I mean, I could see where somebody said, what if I played 3 Innkeepers and a Magda? But the reality is, Innkeeper here, one, it's on green, and we're going to be playing more green and blue lands, so that helps anyway. But the reality is sometimes just those incremental points of life are the difference late in the game. You know, sometimes you have an Innkeeper gain you 6 life over the course of the game. That's all you need. Especially when you're in a back and forth battle, or you're trying to just like buy enough times to survive against like goblins or something, right? So we're going to go with 4 of the Innkeepers here. 2 Expressive Iteration. And I think this is where my lists start to deviate from anything else you may have seen. For me, though, the issue here is that I don't want Expressive Iterations early in the game. The reality is we want to be doing other things with our mana on turn 1, 2, and 3. Well, I guess technically it doesn't matter on 1 with this one, but 2 and 3, and sometimes even 4, where we want to foretell something and leave counter mana up. Maybe we want to shoot something with a Dragon's Fire and something else, right? So we don't necessarily want to use the Expressive Iteration there. The best use of it in this deck is often going to be on turn, sometimes 4, and for sure 5 and 6, as we're trying to set up our later cards, or we're trying to look for one of our big finishers, right? That's what we're really going to be using this for here. So I'm just playing 2 copies of it. Then we're playing 4 Saw It Coming because, you know, counter. And again, people are probably going to say, like, why not play one of the other counters? The reason here is honestly because of the foretell cost, that if we don't need it, we can put it aside, and then on a future turn, we can play something and then protect it cheaply. Yes, it's only 1 mana compared to some of the other 3 mana counters, but it really is going to make a difference in this list. Then 2 Prismari Command. This was one of the harder spots to decide how many of these I wanted, and this is kind of where we start trying to cram like every good card into the deck and you just start running out of room. The reality here though is 2 damage is nice, and it does actually work against several things. Occasionally we'll even block something with, say, a Jaspera Sentinel and be able to take down a 3 toughness creature. This lets us dig a little deeper again when we're trying to find one of our late game answers. Or it can just give us the treasure to make sure we don't miss a drop, right? So I like everything it's doing here, and we do get to occasionally kill Eska's Chariots or whatever, because that's a popular card in the format right now. So yeah, I think 2 is fine. If you could find room for a third, I don't think it would be bad, but I think 2 is plenty. And speaking of, we are playing Eska's Chariot. You know, it's a good card. I don't know what you want to say about it at this point. You've probably seen it in a ton of lists. You're going to see it in a ton more. It's honestly a card that, if you were planning on playing it in paper, I'd probably pick them up now. I think this could... honestly, I think it's going to be one of those cards that as we move forward in Standard, it's going to get a lot of play in some lists, and you're going to see the price spike. And then I think it'll scale back or even end up not being played that often toward the end of Standard that it exists in. But I do think over the next probably 5 or 6 months, there's a good chance we could be seeing a lot of Eska's Chariot. Then 2, Imrith, Desert Doom. I haven't really got to play with this card much, so I'm pretty glad I got to put it in this list. I've been seeing it across the table quite a bit, but not so much on my side. So I do like it, especially since we have counters that we can back it up a lot of the times. But if not, you know, it's still a big 5/5 dragon. It still blocks a lot of things, so good with that. No real major issues. Should be fairly easy to cast. Then we're playing 3 Goldspan Dragons. I just couldn't quite squeeze a 4th one in. You know, I think this deck list really does want a 4th Goldspan Dragon, though. I just couldn't decide where to put, like, do we want to cut an Imrith? Do we want to, I mean, I don't know, go down to cut 1 Negate or something? Like, I really didn't know where I wanted it to be, but 3 was the minimum I was willing to play here. Alrund's Epiphany, this card, this is the one I was saying I don't like the card, but I get why we play it. It's the best at doing what it does. It gives you blockers, it gives you an extra card, it lets you attack again, and it can literally just put games away or put them out of reach for the opponent. So we can't not play it. I didn't want a full set of them, but I'm definitely playing 3, and it'll probably be fine as is. Mostly because we don't need like 3-4 turns in a row. A lot of times just 2 turns after we already have, I don't know, established flying dominance is usually going to be enough. Then we're having 2 Komas, because if we're playing blue and green and we're going to be able to make a lot of mana, why not play Koma? Plus, Koma works well with Innkeepers, where you're getting extra life. I mean, that's just a little added bonus you get out of it. But yeah, big fan. Definitely going to load up on these. As for the lands, we're playing 2 islands, 2 mountains, 4 forests, 2 Lair of the Hydra, 4 of each pathway, and 1 Vine Glimmer Snarl. Only downside is I wish we could have played more creature lands, but, you know, we kind of got to go with what we got. So not too bad, though. I think the land will be fine. We have 23 lands to go along with 4 Despair Sentinels, 3 Magdas, Prosperous Innkeepers also making mana, and if in an emergency, Prismari Command. So that's quite a lot to get us where we need to go. Plus, we can hunt with Prismari Command. We can hunt for cards with Expressive Iteration. So we shouldn't have too much trouble hitting our mana. I think that's going to be fine, even with the higher cost things in the deck. And as usual, we're going to play the games. And then at the end, we're going to come back, talk about what we would change or update. And then it'll be a card spotlight. So I'll catch you on the other side. Ooh, this is gross. Let's not do that. This looks a bit better. I guess you have to go. I was really experimenting with this Prismari Campus, but it's probably just the wrong land. I was just thinking if the games went long and I had extra mana, I might be able to do something to take advantage of that, but I don't know if I really can. Okay, I guess this is fine. No blocks. They're playing dragons? Okay, then. What do we wish to do? I think our plan is actually do this. And I think I'm actually going to run this out there. And just kind of say, hey, here it is. Oh, weird. Definitely was not expecting to see Linvala. I'll tell you that. Wow, that's something. Let's go ahead and get blue, green. Oh, I need another mana. Or I could play Sentinel and set that. Nah, we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do this. Like, no reason not to, really. Do I really want this? I think I do, though. I think it's worth more mana, and if the opponent just, for somehow... Well, they wouldn't even be able to Wrath or anything here. So we have at least one turn of safety, and then we have the Saw It coming to back it up, so sure. No attacks. Now we have enough mana to cast big dragons and other things if we were to find it. So, that's fine. Yep, that's what I figured. It's just a party deck, straight up. Lunvala can come in and get some. No Bloxies. Ooh. Can we cast a coma? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, we are one away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2. Yeah, because those are 3. That's 6. All right. Got a little excited. Thought I might be able to cast a coma, but we were not able to cast a coma. So here's the thing. We can attack with the chariot. They can block. If they do, then they would either give up the squad commander and a token, or they give up 3 tokens and get to keep squad commander Despair Sentinel, which in and of itself is actually not bad because we actually cost them some of their party bonus. So I'm kinda about it. Don't love it, but we'll see. I don't even know what the wizard spellbook is, so it's probably not a high opinion. All right. See what the opponent wants to trade. They may just also jump block with Aether. Oh, they didn't block with anything. Well, that's something now, isn't it? Okay. Tap for green, tap this. All right. Yeah, I'd have to look it up. I haven't even considered playing with it, so I'm going to assume it's not great. It's going to be my opinion. And that would be a rogue for them. They already have rogue, though. What are you missing? Wizard? No, you have wizard. Warrior? You have warrior. What's the other one? Cleric. That's what they're missing. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I might throw Prosperous Innkeeper and one of these cat tokens in front of that squad commander. I don't think the opponent knows. I'm going to hold the Despair Sentinel, because that's a bit important here. Oh, and they blew up Linvala. Okay, I'm good with that. I got to trade Linvala effectively for those. Yeah, they probably have another Linvala, though, is probably what they're hoping for. Yeah, I'm not going to let you have that one, though, opponent. I saw what you were up to. You weren't fooling me. Okay. This actually isn't bad. Okay, opponent gave up. Part of the idea of what I do on YouTube is trying a bunch of different ideas and showing off new things. Okay. Is this gonna be Berserkers? Looks like it. This could be really bad for us late game, especially if our Despair Sentinel dies here. Yep, it's gonna die. This is gonna be bad for us. The only good news is the opponent's hand's already whittled down pretty low. Sadly, got to go with this just in case. There's a Magda, which we did not want to see. That's not going to be good for business. Pass. Not anything we can do here, sadly. Opponent will make some mana, and there's nothing we can do about it. Having all the rare lands is such a privilege. Yeah, you go ahead. I always tell people, just craft the lands, always. Because you're going to play with them at some point. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything here. We just didn't draw the land, unfortunately. I mean, sure. I mean, just to save ourselves a bit of a beating. But I'm pretty sure it's too late. I guess this is the best thing we can do. Just to suck up some damage. And I don't even love this, but, I mean, we gotta do something. Blood Sky. Let's make a 3-2. Alright. Guess that's the good news. We don't take too much damage here. They definitely want some treasure, though. They're just probably running in on Magda because they have another one in hand. I will trade, though. Does mean I'm not going to be able... Actually, what'd I do that for? I could have just blocked with the chariot. That was stupid. I think mentally I just gave up already. Yeah, that was just a dumb play, because I could have attacked with the chariot here, too. If I win this, I don't deserve to win. What decks do I think would be good for... I can't even tell you what's going to be good, John. We don't know what the rest of the format's going to look like. All right, let's just move on. I goofed up last turn, not even thinking. So, I mean, even to tell you a card was good in certain circumstances, it might have had a moment where it was great, and then nobody played it again. Which is good. I think that's what we should want, is that more cards are playable, more cards are good, more decks are viable, right? But you get people who... I've even seen now, people, even in just Standard 2022, there's people who copied a deck that was built on day one, and then they're trying to play the exact same deck for the whole season. And it's like, that's probably not going to lead to good results for them, right? Because the format's constantly moving. Oh, that's going to be annoying. I think I already know what deck this is. I feel like we have a shot against it, though, so that's the good news. I mean, you can attack. I'm not blocking. I don't know if I want to use this or not, because, I mean, we're not really doing anything next turn otherwise. I mean, it's possible if we were to get, like, a 2-mana creature, we'd still be able to do that. My concern is that... I mean, I don't know. Let's just take our turn. Okay, we at least got Magda. That was the best one we could get, if we were going to get one. So, I can't really foretell this yet, because we want to be able to use the Dragon Fire if necessary. Alright, well, Magda's going to have to kick the bucket. Yeah. Resolve. Magda dead. Not the worst thing. We'll go ahead and tap this. Decline the reveal. We'll just shoot the professor. By the time we can buy here. All right. Now we will put this on blue. I would say I kind of want to hope to draw a counter, but if they have a kill card... Oh, they had a Soul Shatter anyway. It's all right. We're just going to draw an untapped land here. That's all. See? Told you. It's that simple. Magic's not hard. I mean, they probably have another Soul Shatter, but, you know, if they do, what are we going to do about it? Yeah, exactly. The opponent's just going to draw them. Like, okay, whatever, man. Like, I can't stop you. The opponent just draws well, they draw well. Chariots. Man, I kind of really want to foretell this because I might be able to cast it next turn. So yeah, I'll just take a minor beating. It's just 3 damage. That's fine. Oh no, Kaya, why? Well, the good news is we get to take 2 turns attacking into Kaya, I suppose. That's a thing. Yeah, nothing really changes. I was just trying to think of a way we could do this where it makes a difference, but I mean, we attack into Kaya. They block, kill our cats. Well, no, we couldn't even do that. Yeah, we actually can't. The best we'd be able to do is attack with 1 cat. That doesn't do anything. I mean, I might as well. I just don't love... Actually, that's worse. Oh. Well, that's fine, I guess. End result's not totally different. I need to draw, like, I don't know, another epiphany, a coma, something. Something other than what I drew. Well, that's not good for us. Because that's probably a Doomscar. No, it's not a Doomscar. They would have just cast that. It's probably a Poison the Cup. Well, that's good to have, I suppose. Yeah, F it. Like, whatever. I'm gonna poison that. Sure. They bottomed both. I don't hate that. And since we have a Saw It coming, I'm gonna go ahead and play the Sentinel out. Hope that's enough. Probably isn't. Considering they have creature lands that we're not going to be able to do much about. Okay, Aaron's Epiphany. That's a little bit of a thing. Okay, so they can activate their Dragon Land, block one of these, kill that. So I guess our plan is... I guess just Epiphany straight up. Oh no, crap, what did I do? I clicked the wrong option. Gosh damn it. I'm just not even paying attention to what I'm doing. Alright, attack with that. I'll still block this, I guess. That's fine. Give up the Sentinel. Not that we really need it anymore. Oh my gosh, deck. Come on, help us out. Throw us a bone. I need something. I mean, can we follow up with a 3rd one? Prismari Command. Does that help us? Maybe. We'll have to deal 2 and draw a card. Or draw cards. We'll see. Problem is, we'd have to give up our Prismari... give up our Saw It Coming. And that's not great. Let's see. We shoot the opponent. We draw 2, discard 2. We have to give up the Saw It Coming if this goes the way we want. So, yeah. All right. Nope, didn't happen. All right, I think we're dead now. I mean, I guess I could have foretold that too. Either way, I don't think we have any outs. I think we're dead. Oh, chariots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. You're at least creatures, I guess. Gonna vanishing verse that. Well, okay. At least I know what's not in the hand anymore. Unfortunately, iTwitch will now go get a mascot exhibition, which is not healthy for us. So that's a real concern. Unless we find another counter or some such to back it up. This is not a bad card to pick up. Let's see what this brings. A Dragon's Fire. That's not bad, even though I kind of want to have that negate. I mean, I guess we could play both. We'll put this into hand. Put this into library. Exile this. And then if we activate chariots and attack, I assume they'll activate Faceless Haven? No, they won't. They'll activate this and double block. Probably. All right, well, we got to try something. I'm going to attack with everything. I think. Because they don't have enough to... They can only activate one of those. Yeah, they don't have enough snowlands. Okay, sure. Baleful Mastery. Gosh, dang it. Because I really want to use this. Man, this sucks. I have to save them the gate. Like, this is the worst situation. Okay. Sure. Though now they can't activate any of their creature lands. So there's that. Do we just let it die? I'm trying to think like what happens. I think we have to just let it die. So then the next thing is, do we go ahead and just shoot the iTwitch? Get 3 damage in. Know that ultimately they will, I would assume, they're going to go get Mascot Exhibition. If they do, we can counter it. And then that means they, again, can't activate a creature land. So then we've got 5, 6, 7 damage. So we'll be close. But we basically put them on notice that if we could find... I was like, maybe we could find a dragon. That would have been great. A coma would have been awesome. No such luck. All right. Same thing, though, right now. Oh, now they can activate 2 things. That sucks. Literally, we needed them to not get a snowland. Oh, they already had an extra one, though. So now they could activate 2 Faceless Havens, or they can go 4, 5. So they can activate 2 lands no matter what. So until I can force through a third, or at least 2 more damage, I can't really do anything. But now they can't really do anything either. This is an ugly situation. This mattered. I think that does it, actually. Okay. I think that's what we were looking for. Wow. I don't know how we got a win out of this. Yep. Crazy. I mean, it's good to beat one of the top decks, and it wasn't like they drew nothing. All right, let damage happen. And they're empty-handed. Shoot them for 2. We'll draw 2, discard 2, whatever. Oh, boy. Yeah. Okay, we get to go first. Sure, we'll keep this. Have green land, have red land, have blue land. Seems good enough. I think the question is just, what do I want to lead with here? I think we lead with Magda. And if they have a way to kill it, they just have a way to kill it. Kind of just put it on the opponent and say, like, cool, if you got it, you got it. If you want to block it, you block it. If not, yay Magda. All right, well, there's a way to block it. And we have a second Magda, so that's cute. All right, so we send that Magda in to fight. Obviously, opponent blocks. There's 0 scenarios where that doesn't get blocked there. Go ahead and play a Prosperous Innkeeper. And I'm wondering if I want to go ahead and spend the mana to play Magda. Still have access to 5 next turn if we wanted it. Plus, we'd have Expressive Iteration next turn. So sure, I'm down. Get a life here as well. Also, if they only play 1 blocker, there's a chance we attack with both and get a point in. Because they'll want to block Magda, I'm pretty sure. With an eye twitch. And they're going to go search for a land. Okay, cool. That works out. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Yeah, we're going to get in there. If you would like to stop our Innkeeper, I would not complain. I assumed that you would not. Okay. We're going to go ahead and fire off an Expressive Iteration here. Well, that's a thing. So if we... I mean, we could Innkeeper to guarantee we get to play Coma next turn. So put this into our hand. Put this on the bottom. Exile that. And then we'll just play another Innkeeper. And then pass. I mean, this sets us up in a decent situation. I mean, they could have a spot kill. They could have a soul shatter. So there could be a lot of ways they could still kill Coma. It's not a guaranteed win here by any stretch. But if they don't have it, it'll be nice. There's a good chance they do, though. They've got a fistful. Oh, hold on. Hold on. How much mana do we have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 1 more, and we can actually protect Coma. All right, hold up a second. And that actually changes things quite a bit. Okay, I'm just going to pass. Now, there's a chance they play something here like Loth, and then we kind of have to counter Loth, and that would suck. But if we can get another mana, like I said, we'll be able to play Coma and then protect it, and that's pretty big. And at 22 life, and being able to get extra life off the Innkeepers, it's pretty sweet. big order though, because we already have 5 lands. So I don't know if we're gonna get that 6th one. All right, opponent may just decide to come over with the Haven and then do something else. They're gonna Crippling Fear. I think we're all right with that. Yeah, I mean, I think things being what they are, we're trying to lean on this coma situation a little bit. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna try to be as patient as we can be here. My opponent can attack for 5 and still have 3 mana to cast something. There's a Loth. We're gonna go ahead and use this negate on Loth, since now we have the Saw It coming. It's not what we were waiting on, but it's also not bad either. And the turn. Can't quite go off with the Epiphany yet. We were close. Now, if the opponent decides to... I was going to say... Blood on the Snow here. We would Saw It coming for sure. Do we want to let the dragon die? The dragon provided us with a lot of mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 9. That'd be 10. We could Coma, then Saw It coming, and still have mana left over. I think we let this die. Because I'm trying to think, like, if we attack for 4, that's at 16. We attack for 6, they're at 8. Still not enough, I don't think. And we're at so much life, it's not really worth worrying about. Autopay. Put this in tap, so then we don't even have to worry about lands to get this Epiphany off. All right, they're going to go hunting for a way to kill a Coma. This is good news. This is good news. Come on. Don't have it, opponent. Don't have it. Now if it's spot removal, we don't care. What you got? They're sacking to hunt. This is good. This is very good. All right. I feel like we're in the driver's seat now. Don't want to get my hopes up, but I feel like that's where we're headed. Oh yeah, they're desperate now. Okay, this is looking pretty good, because now we can attack again, and then have a Saw It coming to back things up. And whatever we draw over the next 2 draw steps. Well, that first card doesn't help us. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and Epiphany. Yep. Opponent GG'd. Well, those were good. Kind of short, kind of sweet, but we did get to beat some of the bigger decks, which was pretty nice. All the cards came into play and did what we wanted them to do, so that was pretty good. I think if there's any change, I think it's just like I was saying. I kind of wanted to add another Goldspan Dragon, I think is what we're aiming for there. I don't think there's much else I'd want to change, really. Overall, it actually performed pretty well. Even games I thought we were going to lose, we kind of slowly but gradually worked our way out of them. I think it'd be nice to have another layer of the Hydra maybe, or one of the other creature lands. But outside of that, I think the changes are going to be pretty minimal. Though I will say this about the deck. It's very much a play to taste kind of thing, right? Like if you have certain cards you enjoy, or you don't like something that's in the list, yeah, feel free to cut one or two of a thing to add another thing in there. I think this is the type of list that gives you that flexibility to play to your play style and your preferences more than a lot of other decks in the format, because very few things are what I would call extremely dire or super important key to the deck. Now, for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about one that's fairly new from, I guess would be last December with Commander Legends, and that's Jeska's Will. And the reason I bring this one up is I think it's a card that early on went overlooked, and it's starting to really gain a lot of steam here over the last couple of months. And I think it's just because I don't think people realize how powerful this is. It's a very low cost for what you get to do with it, but there's almost always a player who's playing some hand with no maximum hand size or whatever, drawing a bunch of cards. So you're going to easily get to add 6 to 8 mana a lot of times with this card, and then you could just use that to go off and play other things. And if that's not the case, then you're late in the game. You already have sometimes 12, 14 mana available. You go ahead and use it, and you get to play the top 3 cards. And a lot of times you're going to be able to play them all, right? So there's really no downside to either of the options that this card provides, and they're both very powerful. Now, the downside to that is the card is about $20 now, so it's going to be hard to get your hands on one on the cheap side. But this is one of those commander cards that's probably going to be useful for a long time, and I imagine it's only going to go up unless it sees a reprint. But I'm not sure we'll get one within the next 12 months, so there you go, have at it. Don't forget, if you want today's deck list, it will be down in the description below, along with links for all of our other stuff. If you want to come by, be part of our streams over on Facebook Gaming or on Twitch, that's a good way to get your decks looked at. If you want to come by and talk about different things, and even be part of predicting or getting to recommend what we're going to have on the streams and on the Facebook or on the YouTube channel, but you know, on Facebook too. Also, don't forget you can come by our Discord. That's a good place to chat and get deck help or talk about all different things in the game or ask questions. We have a lot of new faces that come by both my YouTube channel and my streams, and they get a lot of help in our Discord. So you can come by and don't have to be embarrassed. The Brood is a cool group. Also, if you made it this far, I want to say thank you. Watching through videos really helps out a lot for that view time. And I also want to say, if you haven't, please consider hitting the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. That helps out so much, and y'all have been doing a great bit to help the channel out. Really, all I have to say is thank you for the growth we've had over the last few weeks. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.